Welcome back to the Obscurity of Maximum Security with Kara Phillip and, most importantly, Mike Johnson. Last time we talked about the fight in 1986, and we were just heading over to the hospital. So what happened next?
Well, like I said, they wheeled the guard that was upstairs with me. He had been knocked out, and they wheeled him down on a stretcher thing. And I walked down, and I had a wad of paper towels. And so we get down there, to the hospital. And the third guard with the broken nose, he walked down, and I don't know how the lieutenant got down there. I didn't see what happened with him, but I know he made it down there. So anyway, we get in there, and you probably remember you'd go through the gates, and the first door on the right is records, and then the next one was like an ER, like a treatment room. So in the meantime, an ambulance is coming from Silver Cross, and they wanted to take me, and this assistant warden was there, and he said no. Okay. He said, he pointed to the guard on the stretcher, the gurney thing, whatever it was, and he said, "You're taking him and nobody else." He was knocked out. Turns out he had a broken jaw. Okay, but he was okay. I mean, he recovered. We all did. So so I go in. They bring me into the ER place, and I'm laying down on the thing. And the prison doctor, him and the med tech cleaned me up, and the prison doctor sewed me up. And he said, "You're not going to need a plastic surgeon. I'm that good."
Oh, all right.
So in the meantime, the med tech, now we wore those lime green shirts at that time. And, I was all blood soaked, any kind of a head wound, face, you bleed like a sieve. And he goes, "Hey, I got this stuff. It'll take the blood stains right out when you go to wash the shirt." So he's dumping this stuff all over, right?
Peroxide, right?
I don't know what it was. But anyway, I'm laying there, and I remember the doctor and the needle and thread, I'm looking up there. And well, anyway, the internal affairs guy comes in, and he goes, "What happened to that shirt?" And the med tech says, "Well, I dumped some stuff on it so the blood stains will come out." He says, "I was going to take that as evidence." So that was pretty good. But anyway, so then I got to tell you, I mean, they did. I think they did a good job treating me, because the next stop was that X-ray machine.
Oh, the
down the
infamous
hall.
X-ray machine.
And this was in '86. I mean, So I went in there, and they X-rayed my head, and there must not have been anything in there, because I came back to work 5 days later. After you've been assaulted, you get 5 days off with pay.
Okay.
So at the time, I had Monday and Tuesdays off. This happened on a Thursday. So I came back the following Wednesday. Now, I could have taken 2 more days.
I was going to say, you could have done 2 more.
I could have taken 2 more, but I'm like, I want to get back in there, And, the prison doctor told me, he says, "Hey, go to your medical group or whatever." I mean, I was in my 20s, and I didn't even have a doctor.
Did you even?
I mean, I was invincible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, he said, "Just go to your medical group. They'll take them out, the stitches, So anyway, I show up, all right, after 3 work days. Well, actually, yeah, 3 work days off and my weekend, which was Monday and Tuesday. I show up, and, the shift commander was like surprised to see me, because I didn't call or nothing. I just figured I'd come in. He goes, "Oh, we weren't expecting you back yet." And I said, "Well, I'm here, Cap." They put me back in the West Elm House.
That was the next question.
Yeah.
Move you out of there at least.
They like to test your mettle, And so, I went in there, and, I mean, I was okay. So, it's, that was kind of like collateral damage, I think, in a way that day. Although if they plan on getting security, even if it's one person. Well, we're all there. We're going to jump in. We're not going to let anything happen. So yeah, we're going to get it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the job. So, but yeah. So anyway, I came back in and I was in the West Cell House. I don't know how much longer after that.
Well, and then
I don't remember.
who stayed in the West Cell House? What was that for? Because I don't think we ever talked about that.
Oh, the West Cell House was general population, inmates that were assigned to Joliet, and they worked, they went to school. That was our general population cell house. The East Cell House was reception and classification.
Okay.
Also in the West Cell House, there was protective custody and West segregation, and those were separate from the West Cell House. And to access those two galleries, you went to the back entrance,
other side.
the one that we used.
So those were on the bottom floor, and otherwise it was just Gen
Right,
Pop then.
yeah.
So this happened with Gen Pop.
Right. PC was 3 gallery. West Seg was 4 gallery. And so yeah, it was Gen Pop guys. And so anyway, like I said, I was back in there. I don't remember how long. I remember that night after my first day back, I went to my medical group in Joliet, and the doctor took the stitches out. And the next morning when I was shaving, there was still one in there. I thought it was like a whisker, and it was a black piece of, so I got the tweezers and I yanked it out myself, So,
Ow.
yeah, well, it was okay, it did, But anyway, yeah, so you know what? I still continued to work there after that happened. And I might have mentioned in one of the earlier segments, it's like an adrenaline thing, it's never boring and something different every day. I mean, what other job can you get punched out at or,
I mean, probably a lot of them if you try hard enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so something different every day. And even if you're working in a cell house, it's different every day. It's not like a grind because there's different things going on every day.
Yeah.
The inmates are doing different things every day. Just something different all the time, never monotonous. I worked at UPS when I was in college. Talk about boring. It was like the Lucy show with the chocolates going by, except it was packages.
So I'm thinking even
drive you nuts.
So West Cell is Gen Pop and it's prison, so people are staying there a really long time. So you're then just not even working in the same area that all this happened. You're just working with the same people. Like one of them kicked you in the head,
right?
Or 5 of them, whatever, and you're gonna still work with them tomorrow,
right? And some days you'd be working a couple galleries. You might go out on the yard with the inmates, and then because you always have to have a guard out there.
So it's just to know, maybe that's my little correctional guard appreciation moment as Correctional Officer Week approaches. Who knows when I'll air this, but it's like May 6th. But just that you keep going back into that environment, knowing how many of us are like, wow, I really got kicked in the head by this person, and I'm going to go work with them 5 days from now after my 5 days off. So that's my little maybe just appreciate your correctional officers because there's a whole lot that they do and keep going back into that most of us wouldn't even dream of doing and would say no thank you ever again to that environment. So that's my little blurb. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Time's up. The Obscurity of Maximum Security with Kara Phillip and most importantly, Mike Johnson. Thank you.
Bye.